Juventus are suffering an identity crisis after Champions League exit. Juventus will need a psychologist more than a coach after the mental trauma of another scarring European exit, but the team can be reborn after this terrible defeat. Fairy tale endings don't always translate to real life from storybooks, as once again an aesthetically horrible Juventus failed to make it through the Champions League round of 16 for the third consecutive year. This is perhaps the greatest failure of Massimiliano Allegri's tenure. Juventus fans have not seen such a negative result for many years, and the fallout could have lasting repercussions. The 3-0 reverse against Villarreal on Wednesday night is a fitting snapshot of a soulless and heartless team running around the pitch, but never seeming to move, never really seeking victory. Villarreal's determination shattered the ambitions of Allegri's side, laying bare the team's numerous weaknesses all over the pitch. The Italian insisted he was happy with their performance. A lie, but an understandable one considering any criticism he could have given his players, who were savaged by the Italian press, would have destroyed their fragile confidence even more. Losing cracks the club's facade of European dominance, breaking their runs of 10 successive home wins in the Champions League and 10 home games unbeaten in all competitions. There is much to do if Allegri is to placate the players and avoid the season ending in collapse, but this could also be a catalyst to push the reset button and an opportunity for positive and necessary changes. Allegri is just a coach, not a magician. It is not all to be thrown to waste, however. As Allegri well knows, this team is not good enough to reach or win the Champions League final, and from this experience he will be able to draw excellent notes for the future. Dybala has shown that he can no longer be at the center of any tactical and technical project. Allegri did few good things, but one of them was trying to protect the health of his players. Those who criticized the absence of key defender Giorgio Chiellini and the delay in bringing on Dybala are unaware of the pair's poor physical conditions and their risk of long-term injuries. Bringing on the Argentine in the 79th minute demonstrate the persistent physical problems that have prevented him from playing at full fitness. Dybala's handful of minutes on the pitch were therefore an act of respect and protection towards the number 10. The truth is that Juventus have a physically and mentally weak team, and many players, including Dybala, can no longer be considered top players. Is the light at the end of the tunnel a train that is about to overwhelm Juventus, or a new dawn to be glimpsed after a very negative period? This question is difficult to answer, but the enthusiasm of the fans was destroyed by Villarreal's 3 goals, and this fan unease will not be easy for Allegri to manage. Now it will be up to him to figure out which players are still capable of staying at the club. Dybala, Federico Bernardeschi, Mattia De Siglio and Moise Kean have never truly convinced this year, with Arthur Melo and Adrian Rabiot inconsistent too. After Wednesday's result, all the players are under the magnifying glass, and the club will undoubtedly have to cut some players if Allegri believes they are unreliable. Gerard Moreno outshines Dybala. Just like Gerard Moreno, Dybala has been recovering from a muscle injury, but the impact of the Spanish player was much more decisive. This information will be vitally useful for Allegri in deciding how to eventually replace Dybala next season. Negotiations for his contract renewal are still ongoing, but to stay in Turin, he will have to accept a drastic reduction in his salary. Dybala must not presume a new deal is forthcoming. He needs to play better and talk less. This is a crucial moment in his career. His chronic injury problems have seen him miss a total of 370 matches across 7 years at Juventus. Notwithstanding his clear qualities on the pitch, Juventus needs to clearly analyze how much he has actually contributed to the team in the last 3 years given his frequent absences. Unexplainable psychological collapse. Despite the Allianz Stadium being packed with fans, despite home advantage and 15 consecutive strong results in Italy, the team was overwhelmed by Villarreal boss Unai Emery's tactics, highlighting the team's lack of character. The penalty given after an awkward foul by Daniele Rugani was a massive blow for Juventus, who should have attacked with more verve and intensity given the clear footballing and financial benefits to winning. The defeat, taking into account the hits to revenue, ticket sales and prize money, represents a loss of about £42 million. Losing is not necessarily the concern for Allegri, though, who may not be surprised at the result. What will really trouble him is the manner of the loss and the mental decline of a team who wilted under the psychological pressures of Villarreal. Poor quality midfield. The team has a glaring lack of quality in the center of midfield. At the key moment, Rabiot seemed to disappear from the field, as if he were playing hide and seek. The biggest disappointment, however, was Arthur's mediocre performance. The Brazilian made 106 useless passes across the 90 minutes without ever making a clean or crisp knock forward. This in itself signals the tactical and technical crisis of Juventus, who cannot expect a player more useful in 5-a-side than 11-a-side football to replace players of the caliber of Miralem Pjanic and Andrea Pirlo. Watching Juventus play is like observing a car in neutral, moving slowly and without energy, trundling down the road without ever changing gear. Juventus looked like a team doomed to lose. Allegri needs to change a lot in these players and in their mentality if he is aspiring to Juventus becoming one of the top 8 teams in Europe. The club have a very difficult job on their hands. Widespread anger at the performance. Football fans in Italy already knew the team could not genuinely challenge at the top level, but 3 former Bianconeri greats also stuck the boot in after the damaging loss. Former manager Fabio Capello and ex-players Patrice Evra and Claudio Marchisio spoke out, all 3 criticizing Allegri and Arthur. Capello said on Sky Sports, "Nobody did anything in attack, Dybala was brought on too late. Juventus didn't shoot on goal in the second half, only 2 shots from distance. The ball went slow, and I repeat how Dybala should have been on the pitch much earlier. Emery put on 2 substitutes and 1, Allegri lost too much time, he perhaps read the game late, or perhaps he does not fully know the physical conditions of the players." Evra added, "I was disappointed by Juventus and Arthur never accelerated the game. In the first half he tried to do something, but in the second half he disappointed me. There is no quality, especially in midfield. In my day there were Marchisio, Pogba, Pirlo, and Vidal. It's quality in the middle of the pitch. The team has missed many goals, missed 4 clear chances. If you are very wrong you leave the competition." Juventus are struggling in this moment in which they have to recover matches. They have never tried to really win this one. I am disappointed by the match that Juventus played. Also in the championship, Serie A, Allegri works wonders because there is no quality, especially in midfield. Marchisio continued, Juventus, in the Champions League, have problems with the identity and quality of the players. In the second half the pace dropped, everyone was slow to recover for the penalties, and it was easy for Villarreal to go for goal. We can talk about the curse of the Champions League for Juventus if you lose finals. If you go out for 3 consecutive years in the knockout stages of the Champions League, it is a deeper problem.